it's Tara here, back for Scraplift Crafternoon this weekend, and I'm going to be scraplifting this layout that I'll put up here in this corner for you. I'm going to try an experiment. The original layout had some black glitter, like gel paste, I think from Bo Bunny or something. I don't have that, so I'm going to try and take my light molding paste, some Mr. Huey's, which I really love these. I wish they still made them. And I'm going to mix them up and see if I can't come up with some black texture paste, because I had black texture paste, but it dried up, and so I don't want to run out to the store to buy more right now because we are getting ready to move again. So bear with me while I play. Let's see how this works. And of course my sprayer doesn't want to spray. It's par for the course. I guess I'm just going to open it up and pour some in here. I really love these Mr. Huey's because they are very, very pigmented. They're some of my favorite sprays. I have several colors, but they're getting really low. Well, let's see what happens. Oh, yeah. I was kind of afraid I'd get gray, but this is getting pretty dark. If I put a little bit more in there, maybe I'll get even more black. What do you think? Yeah, I think I'll add a little bit more. Such a shame that these went out. These are by Studio Calico, and I think they have other sprays now, or they did, but I don't purchase anything from them anymore. I used to really enjoy their 12x12 kits back in the day, but you know, I guess some good things just come to an end. Alright, I think that's gonna be good enough. Let's see what we come up with here. I'm just going to use this older stencil that I have. I like 12x12 stencils, and I really try to only purchase 12x12 stencils, but they're actually kind of hard to find sometimes. It's nice that I have kind of an extensive stash of stuff that comes with 20 plus years of scrapbooking. You end up with quite a stash, especially if you're bad about hoarding it, which I can be at times. But with stencils, I really just enjoy playing with them and using them. Stars are kind of my favorite thing to play with right now, so this is perfect. It looks like this worked out pretty good. So we're going to let this dry and we'll come back later and we'll get started. Background paper has dried. That homemade black texture paste, while a little bit thinner and smeared just a little bit in places, worked out pretty good. So I'm kind of happy with how that worked. Sorry about the shadows, I'm filming kind of late. So I have chosen to use this piece of pattern paper. I also keep a box of miscellaneous die cuts and pieces that I have cut from other layouts, including some pieces that I've cut out of pattern paper that I've just stuck in here, and it's kind of just a mess of everything, but I do dig through it, so that's kind of cool. I've pulled out a few pieces to play with. I pulled out a stamp. I thought I would use this for my title. I'm going to use this to help me get a good imprint because I'm terrible about that, and I'm considering stamping directly on the layout, so we'll see how that goes. Foam dots for my die cut pieces that I pulled out. These are the ones that I pulled to play with. I don't know that I'll use them all. I'll use some of them. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to trim off the border strip from the bottom of this pattern paper. This pattern paper is from Hip Kit Club. It's one from last year. I have quite an extensive stash of those. I had already pre-trimmed my background, but off screen I took off about 1/4 of an inch from each side. I'm going to center it in there on the top of this pattern paper. I chose to not put ink smooshes across my background. It's not a look I care for, and plus I knew that I was going to cover up quite a bit since I'm choosing to use 3 photos of my cat. This kitty is really hard to photograph because he's black, and this particular day we took him outside and put him on the deck and let him get some sun, and I got a bunch of really good photos with my Nikon. So I printed all of the best ones so that I could use on this layout because he's just hard to get a good photograph, and now he's old and crabby, so we don't mess with him as much. I'm going to pop that center photo up on foam tape to give my layout some depth. That helps bring a focus to the photo where he's looking right at us. He's such a pretty boy and we love him so much. He's just adorable. And now I'm going to add some clouds that I had fussy cut from a Simple Stories pattern paper. That is such an old collection. I don't even remember the name of it any longer, but I cut out several and I put them in that little box that I showed you at the beginning of the video. I'm also going to pop up a 4th one in the center on some pop dots. You'll see at the end of the video where I do some pen stitching around all of my die cuts and those clouds to kind of bring them out a little bit. I'm having a little bit of trouble with the foam tape peeling off the backing because I cut my fingernails really short to put fake nails on. My husband is returning home from deployment and I wanted to be really pretty, so I bought some press-on nails. They didn't last long. I took them off. They annoyed me, but now I have short nails and I can't grab anything. So I struggle with that here. I'm just going to layer my die cuts that I chose on the bottom of my layout in a border. I popped a few up on foam. I also stamped directly onto my layout this title you'll see in a minute, and I'm pretty impressed that I got a good imprint the very first time. But these stars and these hearts and this arrow, I just kind of made a little border along the bottom. Did add some pin stitching on those die cuts as well towards the end. This archival ink is one of my favorite inks. I use it quite a bit. I'm going to grab that little hockey puck thing, and it gives me a pretty good imprint right there. That is a stamp that my husband got me for Christmas this year. I have yet to use it, so I said this year, it was last Christmas. I haven't used it yet, so thought I'd go ahead and use it on this page. Made a pretty simple title, and since stamping directly on a layout is no longer my jam, I thought I'd do it again this week just for fun. And here I'm doing that pin stitching I talked about on the die cuts. I know I'm left-handed and it makes it really hard for you to see what I'm doing, but you'll get to see it at the end of the video. was pen stitching. I smeared my title just a little bit, but that's okay. I really like how this turned out. I'm really grateful that we got to scraplift this layout. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Make sure you check out the rest of the hop. We have all worked really hard on our layouts this week, so have a good day.